you made a good point there about using these practices not only in times where we feel like we may have some suffering to look through, but also in times where life's going quite well.
Yeah.
And because I feel like that's where often, I know in the past when I haven't had like I'll say, like I meditate, but like I'll go through periods where I'll stop meditating, and it's generally because I think, oh, life's pretty good at the moment.
Good.
I don't need to meditate, and then things, as life goes and flows, I'll go through a bit of a down period, and I'll be like, okay, I've got to start meditating again, but it's not. I've come to really realize, and at 35 years of age, I should have probably realized it a lot earlier, that it's really important to have that throughout our life, no matter what the situation is. Because in those times, there's a lot, when we're feeling good about ourselves and we're feeling good about the world, there's still a lot to learn and a tremendous amount to learn. And again, I feel like that's where the breath work can really help in times where, not just in suffering, but also in delight and love, to be able to really facilitate the ability to, like you said, get something to really flow through and then able to manifest out into the world, rather if it's in being successful with something, in relationships, business, whatever it may be, or just in general well-being as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that staying connected is what kind of keeps us from having these massive deviations off center.
Right. Yeah.
Do it's like, oh yeah, check this out. And this is also when you're in that kind of daily routine of connecting with spirit in some way, whether it's I've got something to release, or then I'm just the student. What do you need to show me today? What could I learn today?
Yeah.
Or clarity about a particular thing, or inspiration for the next steps.
Sure.
So those are all valuable things of, help me heal, help me see, help me grow. And I think breath work and meditation and lots of different lifestyle tools can kind of help us with all aspects of that. And so this is definitely not just about purging in any way, but about, okay, well then what is the truth, and what are the next steps, and I did kind of, I like to just kind of sit in meditation sometimes with an ascended master or a guide, and say, okay, well, let's go to school today. If it's not about, oh, I've got to heal this thing or have clarity about this thing, but let me just be the student for the next 40 days. Let me sit with an ascended master, summon a guide, an angel, or someone that I want to train with or learn from.
That's something that I'd really, and perhaps not for this podcast, but chat to you about another time, because I had my first experience of that last night when Anahata and I were both at a concert by Parangi. Got to excuse my Australian accent when I do this. And his delightful partner Ashley. But there was at one point in the it was a music medicine ceremony. But at one point, Ashley asked us to call in like a tribal of elders, and I was transported into some other space where I had like a tribal of elders sitting in a circle. One side was male, one side was female, and I was standing there in like just as part of the circle, but in the middle between them, and they were just looking at me, and I was like, oh wow, this space is quite incredible. I've got a lot to learn. But because it was the first time, but actually I didn't know how to navigate it. I was like, okay. And that lasted for about a minute. But yeah, I think that's something that it's something I definitely want to look at in the future, and be able to reach those states where I can really be with those ascended masters and learn and gain that wisdom.
Lots to learn there.
Yeah.
Lots to learn. And questions to ask. And,
sure.
I mean, you could just get one word.
Yeah.
You could just get one word, integrity.
Right.
And it's like, okay, how deep can I go with the medicine of that word?
Yeah.
Truth.
Sure.
Forgiveness. Right? And to just study that word. And a lot of times you're just going to get insights and pearls and perspectives that you wouldn't otherwise.
Right.
And then we're kind of breaking through the ceiling that says I know it all, and the humility that says maybe I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an option today, even if I think I know it all.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go to the pillow, in other words, to this place to sit and meditate and open and say, what do I need to hear today?
Sure.
I'm open to receive.
Yeah.
And that humility opens us up to this unlimited world of possibilities, because there might be an inspiration there might be an opportunity there might be perspective there, there might be insight or growth that can happen from that place, whether that's in meditation or whether that's sitting under a tree outside or by a creek that says, I'm open to receive a message today.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and the breathing too kind of helps us get out of the everyday go, and kind of drop back into the present moment and access that mystical field of possibilities.
Sure.
Also known as the quantum field.
Right.
And so, especially when we do a lot of breathing like that, it clears the mind. The breath is one of my favorite things about that is that it is the most efficient thing for clearing the brain.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of toxins, and there's a lot of thoughts, and there's a lot of chemicals, and there's a lot of beliefs up there, and just, you know, every day, just a little bit of that clears the brain.
Right.
And it's the most effective way to clean that organ,
Sure.
to detoxify it, because, you know, things get in there.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I like that as a way of just clearing my mind of things. Even if I think everything's fine, it also brings me back to being open to, well, then how could it be even better?